great basketball.
Defender to the basket, Jason Tatum.
We covering pre and post game back on this channel.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into Celtics Postgame Live. I am your host, Rob Hayte, and with me is joined my co-host, Justin Lowe. Justin, the C's pick up a big-time win. It's their fourth straight win at the Garden here tonight, or this afternoon, rather. 119-109 against the Memphis Grizzlies. They advance to still the league's best 41-16. They play the Milwaukee Bucks Tuesday. We're going to get into that. Justin, though, you know the drill. Your thoughts, takeaways, reaction to this afternoon's big-time win against the Grizzlies.
Yeah, this one was pretty big, mainly because this game against Milwaukee, I'm not doubting us, but with how low we might be on help, it might be tough. But I think that this was an important game to win. Memphis is a really good team. They've been struggling as of late, but Sam Hauser came out, balled. Derek White came out, balled. Robert Williams came out, balled. Jason Tatum had a slow night, not really a good night at all. Wasn't aggressive. We talked about that during the game where Jason Tatum wasn't really playing too aggressive. He was settling for a lot of shots, but I thought overall this was a really good Celtics win. It's always good win when Sam Hauser is your leading scorer along with Derek White.
Yeah, I mean, it was a full effort. It was all hands on deck today. White is playing at an all-star level the past 10 games. He has been phenomenal. Jason Tatum did not have it going at all. Tatum, 16 points, struggled from the floor. Dylan Brooks gave him a very, very tough game. Respect there. But, end of the day, the Celtics' depth is really coming through over these last 5 or so games, really dating back to when Smart went down. The guards have been stepping up, but now you're seeing the big step up, and especially newly acquired Muscala. I think Mike Muscala stepped in and hit some big time momentum shifting shots for the C's. He had 10 points, 5 rebounds. I thought he was big, and someone who has been playing very well is Grant Williams. Couple of shows ago, I was saying that Grant was struggling to find his role. He was putting the ball on the floor too much. I still think he's putting the ball on the floor a little much at times, but I loved his aggression tonight. Today. Sorry, it's so weird to have that 2:00 game. I thought he at times saved us on the offensive glass. 9 rebounds tonight, like I said, 4 assists, 10 points. I mean, big time from Grant.
Yeah, I think with Grant Williams is, I think, look, this whole trade deadline passed, all these distractions, him getting thrown in rumors. As much as these players play it off and say, we can control what we can control, I don't pay attention to that. They all pay attention to those types of things. So I wonder if that was in Grant's head, doing a little bit too much. But I don't know. I don't know what to say because this team just keeps stepping up, and the teams that we're stepping up against, the capacity of teams that we're stepping up against. I mean, we had a huge win against Philly shorthanded, huge win against now Memphis shorthanded, and then obviously, the Hornets record isn't that great, but we know the Hornets give the Celtics some troubles, obviously not this season, but over the course of the years, the Hornets have been, a team the Celtics have struggled against. But, 3 straight home wins, 4th dating back to that Detroit game. And just guys like Grant, Sam Hauser stepped up. Hauser's been in the starting lineup 3 of the last 4 games, Rob. The Celtics have won 3 of their last 4 games when Sam Hauser started. So, I don't know, stuff's clicking, and we're starting to feel like we're that November, early December team where we were knocking down threes, but instead this time the offense is doing really good, and at the same time our defense is starting to get back to that level that we were at last year. We still have a ways to go, but we can tell that defensively things are starting to switch up as Ian Inangelo joins us. Ian, luckily we're not too far into the show, so why don't you give your thoughts on this afternoon's game against the Grizzlies? Big win.
It was a huge win, and this was the only team that the Grizzlies were so concerned about. The Grizzlies said, they're fine.
We're short-handed too.
We were shorthanded too, but I think that's just a testament to how deep this team actually is. Because we talk about the depth on this team a lot, and we don't know if it's legit or not. I mean, tonight showed that they can be legit when they're hitting all their shots. I mean, we had 8 people in double digits tonight. The only person that didn't have double digits was Cornette because they only played 6 minutes. But the fact that the Celtics were able to go out there, beat the second best team in the West, and they did it with their depth. Tatum didn't have a great game. And the fact that everyone else around him, and I think there's one more thing I want to say. I think Derek White is slowly becoming one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He has been huge in the stretch since Jaylen Brown's been out.
I said this to Rob, and Rob, you didn't really say anything to this. I think it's because when Rob and I talk, we have like 6 different topics we talk about at once. But like I said, like it is like we both bring up 3 different topics at the same time. But I texted you today, Rob, and I said, like, I don't know if we are at where we're at today without Derek White. And I stand by that. Would we still be a good team? I think we'd be still a pretty good team. But would we be nearly as good as we are right now without Derek White? Absolutely not. And I stand by that. And I don't think anybody could say that. Nobody could convince me otherwise, because Derek White has been the true difference maker on this roster. And he showed spurts of this last year. He showed spurts of this during the playoffs. He just wasn't comfortable yet. He had that full off season at home, to spend in Boston. He had a full training camp and preseason to work with the staff, and it's all paying off right in front of our eyes. And the most important thing, he loves being here. He loves playing here in Boston in front of these Boston fans with these Boston players for this Boston staff. And that's so crucial when you're trying to accomplish something more than a 4-game win streak in the regular season going into the All-Star break. So just, flowers to Derek White. I think he's been huge. And NBC Sports Boston was talking about this on the pregame show. Like, Robert Williams is such a good player. Marcus Smart, Al Horford. But is Derek White starting to maybe, I don't know, maybe make his way into being that third guy, that third star? I mean, that's just how deep this team is.
Derek White, I'd say over the past 5 games has been our best player since Brown's gone down, right? Like, he has been our most consistent and our best player defensively. I mean, he had 23 points tonight. I know the graphic says 20 and 9. He actually had 23 and 10. He was phenomenal, and he's doing it on in any level. He was 4 from 9 from beyond the arc, 4 of 11 from 2. He was very, very special tonight. And to think this guy isn't even supposed to be our 6th man, this guy's our 7th man, technically. Right. He's averaging 22 points per game over the last 10 games.
Insane.
I mean, this guy's our 7th man. So, like, that is a real testament to how great this team is when we're healthy. We haven't seen a 10-game stretch when this team is healthy. That's a knock on us, however, right? If your team can't stay healthy throughout 82 games, you can't stay healthy. But if we can get healthy, I don't think there's a team in the league that can hang with us for 7 games. And I think everyone watching the stream knows that we think that, and I think the league thinks that too. Someone else I want to talk about, though, has not gotten much love on the show recently this year is Robert Williams. He has obviously missed the first half of the year, been in and out of the lineup. 3rd straight game with 15 or more rebounds. That is very, very big. If you win the rebounding battle, it's said that you can win the game much easier. Tonight, he had 10 points, 16 rebounds. Becomes the first Celtic since Antoine Walker, December 2020, to grab at least 15 rebounds in 3 straight games. 6th player in franchise history alongside Dave Cowens, Robert Parrish, Paul Silas, Antoine Walker, and the late and great Bill Russell. So very elite company Rob is joining, guys, with this performance tonight.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Oh, no, you got it.
I was going to say, and Ian, you and I actually talked about his rebounding in the last post-game show. I forget who it was against. Was it the Hornets?
It was Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah. How many rebounds, like, if they counted tap outs as rebounds, like he would have had like 25.
He would average like 20 rebounds a game if they counted tip outs as
Right.
rebounds.
It's just those second chance opportunities that he creates for this team, and that comes up so big, Ian. That's huge.
It is huge because we also talked about how big of a difference maker Robert Williams is on this team. And we've been saying that forever. And it's just showing tonight.
Right.
Like he was just insane on the boards. No one was even close to him when it came to rebounding. And it's kind of like that in the league. No one in the league is going to be close to Robert Williams when it comes to being able to rebound. Also, he took his first career 3-point attempt tonight, which you know, I'm saying the 3-point shot will come. He's got to get in the gym with.
That was his first of the year. Trust me, I've been tracking the Rob Williams threes because he took one in the bubble against Brooklyn in the corner. He front rimmed it, and he took one against New Orleans like 2 years ago, top of the key, and he missed it. Dude, my heart dropped when I saw him shoot that today.
Bro, if he hit that three tonight, that game would have been over. Right
oh
after.
My goodness, that would have been amazing.
So, how about this? The Celtics win the rebounding battle, 54-34.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
But then they got smacked in the paint. Smacked in the paint. But that's also because the Celtics they shoot a lot of threes. They play around the perimeter a lot, as opposed to Memphis, who's so good at attacking downhill. The Memphis also a lot. I wonder how many fast break points did they have, if we could pull it up, because that also is a lot of paint points within itself right there. Grizzlies are one of the best teams, if not the best teams, at attacking downhill and getting to the basket. So, just two opposite, I guess, offenses, but you bring that rebounding number up, and that's just huge, man. Like, we see guys like Rob Williams. What was that? His 14. Third straight?
Yeah, they had 14 fast points.
They had 14, so that's 14 points in the paint, unless, they took a couple threes on the fast break.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Things are clicking right now for the Celtics at the moment. And Milwaukee, and then I believe Detroit after that, and then we go into the All-Star break. I would love to get this Milwaukee game. I really would. But I don't know who's going to play and who's not going to play. With it being a first night of a back-to-back, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. With all due respect to the Pistons, I'm playing
everyone.
Everybody I can against the Bucks. And I told this to Rob. I want to see JD Davison and Mfiondu Kabengele getting minutes on the second night of a back-to-back against the Detroit Pistons. I don't want to see any starters playing in that game. I know it's not the last game of the regular season, but there's no need for how many injuries we already have on this team. There's no need for us to even risk it against a team like the Pistons. Go out, go get that win, or at least play good against Milwaukee on national TV, and then rest on that second night.
Yeah. I mean, you look, it's like, I texted Justin this. I like the win. I'm happy with the win, but I'm not necessarily in love with how we won. 51 3-pointers to 37 2-pointers isn't sustainable throughout the course of a 7-game series. It looks pretty when the shots are falling.
Yeah, but the shots are falling right now, and that you're at the same time when shots are falling like that, Celtics tend to get a little trigger happy. But
we have seen this team, when they're not falling, resort to just letting it spray. And
against Chicago,
that 3-game skid we had against the Magic twice, and then who was the other loss to?
Indiana.
Yeah, so we've seen it. This team is trigger happy. They like to shoot the ball. I would have liked to see us get into the paint a little bit more than we did tonight. Obviously, some layups didn't go our way. I can remember a White missed layup. I can remember a bunch of Tatum missed layups. Rob didn't shoot over 50%, or he shot 50%, which was like, that's low for Robert Williams. So that just kind of shows you.
The 3-pointer took his.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know the 3-pointer.
Yeah, I would have liked to see us get
for 9. That's not terrible, but you want to see more of a paint presence.
It's great for other players, not Robert Williams, because of how efficient Robert Williams is.
Yeah.
Like 5 for 9 for other players is like amazing, and then Robert Williams, it's like, oh wow, he had a really off night shooting.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I thought we played great. We got to the free throw line 26 times, which I think is great compared to their 21. Memphis only made 13 of their 21 free throws.
Yeah, Josh
We
struggled
shot
from the
20,
line.
26.
Yeah,
So did
Josh
Tatum.
struggled
I thought
early.
Tatum also did. But I mean, overall, great win. Milwaukee, I think you're going to see a lot of the same. Don't be surprised if Brown suits up for that Milwaukee game. He is listed as day to day. He got fitted
Mass
for his
Jaylen
mask.
Brown.
Yeah, he
I
did
guess
get fitted for his
he was
mask.
doing a shoot around with the team today. I
Yeah,
guess
he
he was,
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So don't be shocked if you see Brown in the lineup against Milwaukee. I'm pretty sure Smart, he's out till after the All-Star break. He was doing some run-throughs the other day. Didn't feel 100%, still felt some discomfort in that aspect. So expect the Brown to be in, but keep a lookout for Brown to be in. Expect Smart to be out. I would imagine Brogdon's in. That is probably why he didn't play tonight. They didn't want to have him be or have any discomfort for that game against Milwaukee. So expect Brogdon back. So we're slowly but surely getting there. Hopefully, once the All-Star break passes, we'll get back to a full strength.
Yeah, but at the same, obviously you want to be in full strength, but at the same time, like I'm just really enjoying seeing this team and seeing, our depth getting a chance and an opportunity to go out there and compete. And they're not only competing, but they're winning ball games, like they're against some pretty difficult teams. I think that the Grizzlies and the Sixers were just two great wins, grinded out wins. It was great to see Hauser. It was great to see Muscala. Muscala scored 10 points tonight off the bench. And then the game before that, he had 12. I mean, that's he literally in the 2 years that or 2 seasons technically that Justin Jackson was here, he has scored the same amount of points. So
he had about that many shot attempts in his entire time as a Celtic.
I know, and it's crazy, but like that just goes to show you how awesome friggin' Brad Stevens is. But just to see this team click is just so relieving to see because, we went through that tough late December, that West Coast trip, and then we come home and we struggle and we had those rough games against Orlando. And then recently we dropped Orlando, Miami, and New York. And then that tough one, even though we won, it was actually Celtics. I didn't think played all that spectacular against the Lakers. Like we knew we were a foul away from losing our 4th or 5th straight game, whatever it was. But to see them respond from these injuries is it's really relieving. So let's see if they can go out Tuesday night and get a win. I mean, this is the big matchup is the Milwaukee Bucks. This is
last time we saw them was on Christmas, and let me pull this up real quick.
That
was the game where Tatum had like 40 something, didn't he?
On Christmas, Tatum, let's see. So we won 130. We put up 139 points on them. Tatum had 41. We were fully healthy. Technically. Rob still was only played 14 minutes that game. So last time we saw them, we were fully healthy. They didn't have Middleton. We gave them the business. Tables have kind of turned now, fast forward about 2 months. We're going to be not healthy. They're rolling right now. Bucks are winners of last 10. They're a game and a half back from us. So the good thing with this win, guys, is even with a Celtics loss,
we still hold first.
We still hold the best record in the NBA. I believe so.
Yeah,
because they don't play tomorrow. Yeah. So even with the loss, we still have the best record, which is really, really nice to have that safety blanket with that game against the Bucks.
It's also going to be interesting because Milwaukee, I believe, will have 3 or 4 days rest.
Yeah.
So it could either be one of those games where Milwaukee, like the Celtics, if they have 3 or more days of rest, they're absolute dog water, or that they're really on the money. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of Milwaukee team we get. I mean, this is going to be a tough challenge on the road, but remember that last time Celtics were in Milwaukee, I think was Game 6 when Tatum had that honestly career-defining performance. So that'll be really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I mean, I think the biggest games of the Celtics season will always be against Milwaukee. Like, that's just how it is because Celtics-Milwaukee is becoming probably the most heated rivalry that the Celtics have right now. Just by a talent standpoint, because both those teams are so equally talented. You can't deny the fact that Giannis is maybe the best player in the NBA.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where, it seems like right now the Celtics have their number, because if you want to count the playoffs, they've won 3 straight. But, you never know what can happen. Chris Middleton is also known for killing the Celtics no matter what happens. So we'll have to see. Milwaukee Bucks fans, can we use the excuse of we're injured if we lose on Tuesday? Can we use that excuse? Exactly. That's why I'm asking, because can we use that excuse if we lose on Tuesday? But if we win on Tuesday, then I don't know what their excuse is going to be. But regardless, it'll be a good game.
Over the last 10 games, Milwaukee has not been a great offensive team by any means this season. However, over the last 10 games, they're averaging 125 points per game, which is a league's best, I believe. However, I don't see many big-time matchups. They beat Denver 107-99, low-scoring game. They beat the Clippers 106-105, low-scoring game, close. And then that's really it. They've beat the Pistons, they've beaten the Pacers, the Pelicans, the Hornets, the Heat, the Blazers, the Lakers. So it's like they're taking care of the games against the bad teams. They're doing their thing against they're playing defense in a game against the good ones. Celtics like to shoot the ball. Bucks like when teams shoot the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Bucks match up against the Celtics, because if you're going to give this Celtics team, especially expect to see big Mike Muscala minutes, I think, against the Bucks because of that Brook Lopez matchup. I would not be surprised if you saw Muscala get the nod over Luke Cornett in that matchup. But it's going to be interesting to see if you let Boston, like kind of Game 7, they didn't make adjustments. They let Grant Williams just shoot him in the foot and essentially ended their season. It's going to be interesting because when this C's team is knocking down their threes, they're virtually unbeatable when they're making their shots. So Bucks, it's going to be interesting. They like to give up the three, and we'll see if the Celtics are going to be knocking them down.
Yeah, we're going to need Sam. Or honestly, we're going to need all hands on deck for Milwaukee, all the hands we can get. Even if we don't have Brown or Smart back, I would love to get Malcolm Brogdon back. I think that would be huge as well, to get Malcolm back. But I don't know. I don't know what to say. This was just a really good win. Celtics are kind of rocking and rolling right now. But so is in Milwaukee. If you combine the two teams, both teams have won 14 straight games combined. So this is quite literally the matchup of the week, not just because it's Celtics Bucks, just because these are two of the hottest teams in the NBA right now.
Yeah. Also, I want to. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I want to talk about Sam Hauser for a second. Listen to these stats over Hauser's last 4 games. 15.3 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, an assist, less than a turnover, 53.8% from the field, 57.6% from 3, and a plus 39 in his last 4 games. This is exactly the Sam Hauser that the Celtics have wanted, and that basically what he was doing in the beginning.
Who called this? Who called Sam Hauser? I just need to hear it.
That was like last year, too.
I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
Yeah.
But you did. I don't know. That I think the Sam Hauser prediction evens out the fact that you hated on Grant Williams at the start last year. So,
all right. I hated Grant Williams, you said?
You did. You absolutely just.
All right. Everyone hated Grant Williams.
No,
I don't want to hear that.
Not me.
I mean, that's true.
I never hated Grant Williams. Now I do. I don't like him. I don't like how he's been playing. I never hated on Grant Williams. Don't say I hated on Grant Williams. Ian,
I just agree.
I never hated Grant Williams.
You guys didn't hate Grant Williams because you thought it was funny to see my reaction to the things of Grant Williams you guys were saying. You cannot tell me that Grant Williams sophomore season you sat there and enjoyed the way Grant Williams played.
No, but that doesn't mean I hated him.
I didn't hate him either. I just hated the way he was playing.
Hate him. You just said you hated him.
No, not at all. That's not true.
Look up Rob's.
Yeah, you can pull it up.
Grant Williams.
Pull it up. When Grant plays well, I love him. But anyone, even when Tatum doesn't play well, I'm like, Tatum, what the hell?
Compilation of Rob hating on Grant Williams. Over under 15 minutes.
Over under how many?
Under. I'm hammering that under.
Over under 15 minutes. of Rob.
Oh,
A
I'm
little
taking-
foreshadowing.
I'm taking the
I'm
way
actually
over.
thinking under. I was thinking over under 7 minutes. I think you could definitely make a 7-minute compilation
No
of Rob hating on
way.
Grant
No
Williams.
way.
Oh, that's that. I'm hitting the well over on that. I'm hitting the triple over on that. I can make a 45-minute one, a whole podcast episode.
Please do it. Please do it. I just want to see it.
But
guys
I
are
just,
haters.
in all seriousness, though, like it's just like, especially for Sam Hauser, the way he's been playing these last 3 to 4 games, especially, Hauser started the season off really hot, and then he honestly was playing awful. Like he wasn't making his shots. Like he couldn't really defend. Like he was buns, and now as a young player, you don't know how people are going to go through that. You don't know how these players are going to go through that. Hauser took that very, very well, and now he's starting the last 3 games, and he's honestly been one of the most consistent Celtic players this whole in the last week or two.
Yeah, well, I think that's what happens when you're a sharpshooter like that, especially a young sharpshooter. Like he hasn't gone through the ups and downs of a long 82 game season, right? Like you're not going to be shooting 55% from 3 over 82. You're going to have some games where you're missing your shots, where you're 2 of 7, you're 2 of 8, you're 1 of 6. Like that's part of being a shooter. But like the saying shooter shoot, right? As funny as it is, right? It's true. Like if you were a shooter, you have to shoot the basketball at a high level inconsistently, because if the only way you can get out of that funk is if you keep shooting. And I think that's something I really like from Sam Hauser, is that he's a shooter. And he keeps shooting. And I'll tell you what, oh my God, when he's on, the ball doesn't touch the ball doesn't touch the net. It just like there was
crazy.
one today where it just perfectly dropped through the net, and I was like, oh my God, it's like watching like Klay Thompson shoot. Obviously, he's nowhere near as great as Steph or Klay, but like I think
when Hauser's on, his shots just they just look beautiful.
Yeah, it's like Kyle Korver.
And sometimes he knows when it's going in too.
Yeah.
Like that Philly game, he had a couple of those shots at the end of the game where he was shooting threes and he was confident with it. He was doing the no looks and the walking away after he shoots. Like he knows.
And this guy, he's probably our 11th man now, right? Like it's probably Smart, Brown, Tatum, Al, Rob, Malcolm, White, Grant, Muscala, Hauser. Yeah, so he's probably like the 10th guy. Maybe you like.
I just love this.
Up 20.
Like Brad pulled this Muscala. I know it's only been 2 games, but like
we're 2-0 in the Muscala era, though.
We are though, and he's averaging 11.5 points, and he hits threes. We saw his mid-range game. He could score inside as well. He had a couple paint baskets tonight too. He's not afraid to shoot the basketball, which I think is important because shooters can't pass up good looks. Like Grant Williams has passed up a lot of really good looks this year, and that's been one of his issues. Mike Muscala not afraid to pass up a good look, or not afraid to take the good look. I think he's taken 13. He's played 2 games and he's taken 13 threes. He's taken 13 threes, but he's made 7 or 8 of them. So that's really important.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing with Muscala I love is that, like you said, he is not afraid to shoot it. Like literally, there was times in this game where it didn't matter where he was shooting the ball. It didn't matter. And that's what I love. That's why Brad Stevens traded for him. This is what Neil Gallinari was supposed to do.
Exactly.
If he was healthy. So
God, I mean, can you imagine if we get like what do we do? Like we'll have too many players to play.
I mean, technically we still have a roster spot. So I mean he would technically be on the team.
No, it's just we literally have too many players that could play. Usually guys 10 to 15,
not enough minutes to
right. Like usually guys 10
around.
to 15 don't really play. Our 10 to 15 guy, 10 to 15th man can get legitimate minutes on any other NBA roster. That's the crazy thing about how deep this Celtics team really, really is. But I don't know. I'm excited to see this Milwaukee game. I'm honestly a little nervous to see who plays and who doesn't play because we teased that JB might return. We know Smart's not going to return, but I don't know how Joe Mazzulla is going to look at this first night of a back-to-back thing. Usually Rob rests and then Horford plays the second night. I hope that's not the case. I hope they just go all in and then come home to Detroit and then just, I don't know, just coast into the All-Star break.
For sure. Well, we'll have you covered for that, though. However, in the
Hang on,
meantime,
last question. Who's winning the Super Bowl today?
Well, that's why I was right about to get into that.
Eagles.
In the meantime,
Eagles.
we got the
I don't
big
want-
game. I
Eagles.
need to hear everyone's predictions. Justin, we'll start with you.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles, because I hate Patrick Mahomes and his wife and his stupid brother. I don't like them. So, Eagles. Just be Noah Gray. Shout out to Noah Gray from Leominster on the Eagles. He's from Leominster. Graduated Leominster, Massachusetts. So shout out to him. I hope he does good tonight on the Chiefs, but I hope he's the only one who does good on the Chiefs.
Score prediction.
35-32.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have the Chiefs winning. I think the Chiefs
Who do you want to win?
I mean, in reality, I don't want either one of these teams to win because I don't like either one of them. But if I had to choose, I guess I would like Philly to beat the Chiefs just because that means Patrick Mahomes lost another Super Bowl. But I just think the Chiefs are going to win. It just feels like, I don't know, it just feels that way. It just feels like the Chiefs are just that much better. Plus, the Jalen Hurts had a hard time against the 49ers defense, and the 49ers didn't have a quarterback. So, I mean, if he makes the same mistakes that he did in the 49ers game, I think the Chiefs can still capitalize on him.
It is proven to be a fact that if you do not have a top 15 defense in the NFL, you cannot win a Super Bowl. I'm taking the Eagles. I like their defense. I think they just have too much talent on that roster. That Hurts has the easiest job in the NFL, probably behind Dak Prescott. I know we don't talk about football much, but here's that's my football take of mine. I got Eagles in a shootout, a close shootout. I think Mahomes is going to keep it close. I got Eagles 31 to
Clyde Edwards
20
for the Super Bowl.
31-27 Eagles. Hassan Reddick wins Super Bowl MVP.
Wait, Ian,
That's
what's
my
your
take.
Super Bowl final score? You didn't give a score.
My final score, probably 35-25. I'm going Kansas City.
Imagine it was like a Rams Patriots and it was like 10-3 or 7-3 or something.
That would be nuts.
That'd be.
I think these teams have two elite offenses. There's no way that this game doesn't become an offensive shootout.
Yeah, for sure. But C's pick up a W on Super Bowl Sunday. It feels like we're always playing Super Bowl Sunday and we're always picking up that W. Remember that one time Al Horford fadeaway at home against the Blazers?
Portland. And then we had the Paul Pierce came home and hit that final three. I was at that game. That was
it feels like we're always playing on Super Bowl Sunday. Gotta love it. Like I said, though, C's pick up the big time win, 119-109 over the Memphis Grizzlies. They advanced to a league's best. And still league's best, 41-16. They're going to play the other best team in the league right now, the hottest team in the league right now, the winners of 10 straight, the Milwaukee Bucks. Hopefully we'll see Jaylen Brown back in the lineup. However, tonight, Derek White stole the show for the Celtics, 23 points, 10 assists. Sam Hauser was just behind him. He had 20 points on 6 made three-pointers. And then Robert Williams, the Time Lord, another double-double, making history tonight, 10 points, 16 rebounds. Third straight game with 15+, like I said earlier in the show, guys. I'm Rob. Next to me is Justin. Below me is Ian. We wish you guys all